And a motion that came from, as a notice of motion a couple of weeks ago, it's moved by Councillor Rowley, seconded by Councillor Fredis. Whereas mute swans are an introduced species in North America, originally brought from Europe in the late 19th century, and whereas mute swans have established large populations in various regions of Canada, including the Brighton area and Presqu'île Bay, and whereas mute swans can have significant negative impacts on ecosystems, displacing native waterfowl, consuming aquatic vegetation, and contributing to water quality issues. And whereas the current protected status of mute swans under the Migratory Birds Convention Act limits management options available to address these negative impacts. Whereas local communities such as Brighton are bearing the brunt of the negative consequences of mute swan populations. Now therefore be it resolved that Brighton Council urges the Minister of Environment and Climate Change Canada to consider removing mute swans from the list of protected species, allowing for controlled population management in areas where they are causing significant ecological and economic harm, particularly in and around Presqu'île Bay. And further, that Council directs staff to petition the Canadian Heraldic Authority to change the Brighton coat of arms from the invasive mute swans to the native trumpeter swans, and further that this resolution be forwarded the Honourable Stephen Guilbeault, Minister of the Environment and Climate Change Canada, and Phil Lawrence, Member of Parliament for Northumberland Peterborough South. Is there any discussion? I would only suggest that perhaps we might want to alter this to read, instead of the native trumpeter swan, that it reads a native species. Because there's some question whether the trumpeter swan is native, first of all. Councillor Fredis?
Yes, and Mr. McCrae also indicated there were some other species of birds that might be better or more appropriate. So perhaps we should open it up to allow that latitude. Other than that, I guess my only other comment is I think Mr. McCrae did a magnificent job of explaining to us the harmful impact of this and the necessity for this motion. And I would hope my council colleagues would support it.
Thank you. Councillor Wheeldon?
Thank you. Second that about Mr. McCrae's presentation, as well as the mayor's recommendation about getting a native species, regardless of whether or not it's a swan. The only other thing I would point out is a typo in the last name of Minister Guilbeault. We should probably fix that.
How do you spell his last name?
It has a U in it.
G-I-U?
I'm going to have to look it up.
G-U-I? Well, we'll get the correct spelling here from our friends at Google.
G-U-I-L-B-E-A-U-L-T.
G-U-I-L-B-E-A-U-L-T.
That was a B-E-A-U-L-T.
B-E-A-U-L-T, yes. Thank you. If Mr. Guilbeault is listening, we apologize for the spelling mistake. So Councillor Rowley is the mover. I've changed the native trumpeter swan to a native species and the spelling of Mr. Guilbeault's last name. Is that okay with you? Councillor Fredis as the seconder, you're okay with that? Councillor Rowley?
Thank you. Regarding native species or local species, does it need to be a bird? I'm thinking Brighton has just adopted a flower, the wild columbine, I believe. If we're going to change something, should we do it all at one time?
So this is just to petition the Canadian Heraldic Authority to make the change. It's their coat of arms that they've bestowed on us, so they need to make the change for us.
Oh, and so they'll pick what we need to?
Yeah. Yeah, the Herald makes these decisions. I think we get some input, but we didn't get a lot last time. Go ahead, Councillor Wright.
I'm not sure what you said there now that you've said that, but can we make the wording native to Brighton or Presqu'île Bay area? so that we get a little bit more specific into what we're looking for and that they are aiming a little more true.
I look to the mover and seconder if they're okay with changing this to a species native to Brighton. Stop it. I heard that. Okay, anything else? All those in favor? There being none opposed, that motion's carried. Madam Clerk, if you have trouble deciphering the dog's breakfast here, I'm happy to help out.